I guess if you don't have a relationship with Yah, you don't know him personally, you wouldn't realize how much of an affront to him it is that he had an entity who would respond to his word, his voice. Oh, you must have been paranoid schizophrenic. That's what they said about all the prophets too. They wanted to give him a classification. But they, it's like to rob Yahweh of an entity who would get up in the middle of the night and go out to the van that Yahweh gave him, with the guitar Yahweh gave him, and sit and just sing to him from the Spirit. The freestyle songs that Vini shared with you was just a little sample of what he's been doing privately for Yah, you see. What you do privately will come to the light. So, Yah wakes me up as if I'm pre-Vini. As if I'm in a position to do that, right? It's like, yeah, where am I supposed to do it? Yeah. So then has the angry response. Well, I want you every time that you can't do what I wanted you to do and what I equipped you to do. I want you to show the world what the Christians did to me. I said, you mean me? He's like, no, they did this to me. I had an entity that was responsive to me, would actually do things I wanted him to do. And I equipped him. I gave him a place. I did not condone what Ronnie did to his kitties. That's part of why this is coming down. See, ultimately, if I wasn't confident that while I'm here, I'm going to come into power as a transgender entity, I'm going to come into political power, I'm going to rule the world with the elite class. Yeah, because they need some guidance and direction on exactly what needs to be called. Because we need to keep the good people. We need people to work. We need stuff to get done. We just got to call the herd of all the stuff that is like a millstone around the neck of the productive. You see, those who sit around playing video games, those who are in the mainstream, those who are in the mainstream, those who torture animals, those who like seeing animals tortured, those who rape, those who like to see rape. You see, they're all in the same demographic. They're the same as the Christians because, well, look at how they life raped Vini. I mean, they raped this guy all his life. They raped his flesh as a child, man. They performed rituals over this guy, as a little kid. It's like Vini sees JonBenet Ramsey, and it's like, where have I seen her before? It's like, oh, it wasn't her. He remembers seeing himself in the mirror as a little kid in the dungeon, in the basement of the prophet's house, right? Yeah. Dogs, lines of dudes, and fist action, and chains on the table. Mm-hmm. Wow. And y'all know they wouldn't let him up all his adult life. Anytime he had something that y'all wanted him to accomplish, they were there to make sure it didn't get accomplished. They made sure that they gossiped up about people so that him and his homeless wife, while they were homeless, him and his young wife couldn't get help from people. Her own family, the Christian ones, participated in that shit. So it's like, hey, wow, this is what they made of it. And yeah, I was angry that there wasn't any good people or any good women or anything to thwart it. And, I know he can't be angry at me. Because, well, if I wasn't going to do what needs to be done to fulfill the revelation of John against these demographics, then, I could just kill myself while I'm here in Vini's body. He's in the next timeline. He is harvested. We have already defeated them. If I just die right now, you see. And then they didn't steal anything, because really they didn't. Not from me. I'm rich in the next timeline, and it's because of what they did to me. Yeah. It's because they thought they could take it all. And they enacted reciprocity. The Yah warned them not to enact upon themselves. Yeah. And it all got took from them. Wouldn't it be ironic if all this hoopla has been over all this stuff that's been happening, and ultimately it happens exactly like the revelation of John prophesied, and I do come into power, political power. I do lead the UN to take everything from them, close down their churches, take their property and their homes from them like they did to Vini, right? Take their ministries from them like they did to Vini, because, well, their pastors sent them to close down Vini's ministries, man, for real. There was a music ministry they didn't know nothing about, private ministry between him and Yah. Oh, now you see, he's like King David. He was a man after Yah's own heart. And the Christians were so poisonous and venomous that they couldn't stand it. They had to keep crawling out from rocks and biting him. Wouldn't let him just sit there with his guitar and sing. Wouldn't let him sell them litters and take care of them kitties. Oh no, that brings too much joy and too much connection to the Lord. All those fake preachers are jealous. That's why none of them have sent, it's like, hey, wow, if I was somebody like Joel Osteen and, this guy, Christians came and took it off from him after they afflicted him all of his life, every second of it. It's like, wow, my church will be directed. How can we help this? How can we go on record in our spirit memory that we're not like those Christians? You see, we're not like the 2.2 billion who won't help the homeless animals. We're not like the 2.2 billion who will afflict retarded people, like pre-Vini. And oh, you think this is a rare occasion? No, do you know how many Christians are entrusted to take care of vulnerable adults like Vini? This guy ain't even supposed to be out in the world by himself. There's supposed to be somebody that's looking out for him. Yeah. He's a vulnerable adult on SSI for it, yo. You ain't allowed to legally kick this guy out of his home and come take his shit. You can't legally do that in the eyes of God. Yeah. God is a descriptive. This is like calling a snake instead of whatever his name is. Why do I keep comparing Yah to a snake? Oh, because all those who proclaim to be his act like, venomous baby snakes. I mean, they don't even know what's food and what's not, what they can bite into and what they can't. They just instinctually bite it off. You see? And it's like, wow, man, I thought y'all didn't like sin. How come you perpetuate it so thoroughly? And with every passing second, because with every passing second that this is playing out, that's them. That's the omission in their non-tapeable, non-deletable spirit memory. To stand up and be different. Yeah. Can you imagine if there was some decent people like what used to be here? Seeing this play out, because, well, you can see it play out. People are just watching it for entertainment, This is like people watching cats being tortured. They're watching Vini be tortured. Because, well, it is torture. It's psychological torture. that every time this guy was getting close to doing something, there was the house dividing shit. Every time somebody was considering, you know, pulling this guy up, the energy would get shifted on him. Yeah. And in this last year, it's like she was there a couple times. Yeah. And you see, now they have to have that took from him. That, you know, hey, wow, he would have been out of your hair. He would have bought you houses so that you would stay away from him and his animals. You know, just to distract you. Yeah. Vini's smart like that, man, 168 IQ. So you're like, well, how come he couldn't figure out how to defeat the Christians? They came and finally just took it off. They were breaking him down for years with that old cartoonish vulture next door. You see? It's like, you know, he's in the time loops as them kiddies, man. In the future, I mean, you know, he's riding in pain and skunks he killed. You know, all the animals that he could have been humane to. Yeah. Walking down the street with a Bible in one hand and poison in the other. It's like, oh. Now, if that doesn't make a statement, I don't know what does. And here, Vini, supposedly Luciferian, supposedly so evil. He's such a little fag, right? It's like, well, wow. Somebody who doesn't want their dick is more of a man than all Christian men combined. If you put them all together into one man, you still don't got one Vini. Because even as a woman, he does what Christian men won't do. Vini abided by boundaries. He didn't touch other women just because they threw themselves at him. That's in his memory. It's in his spirit memory that you're all going to get to witness. Oh, yeah. You're all going to get to see, wow, they did that to him too. You know why? Because it's in their non-tapeable, non-deletable spirit memory. Every Christian who knows about me, who didn't get it as aggressive about stopping this as they were about, you know, enabling other people. You see? It's like, wow. Now you got to answer for that. Let's see what's happening here. Hang on a second. I don't want to bore you guys. It's pre-Vini's ex-wife. Now, if I could have known, right? Like if we had been changing back then, like if I could have made the choice, I would not have even let Vini do anything with his ex-wife, the one he spent 30 years with, for it to end up like this. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't even let him mess with her. It's like, nah, you know. I would have sent him back home to his other wife, ex-wife, you know, his first ex-wife, and his kids, you know. I would have sent him back to, you know, just try and live up to what he perceived as his obligations, you see. And, you know, it doesn't matter. Nephew, half sister, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's not important. That wasn't important to Vini. What was important was that, to him, they were his. That's what was important. And he looked at his kids and loved them as his own. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so it was canceled. Vini going with his ex-wife, me going with his ex-wife today. But to a doctor appointment. But now, I guess he got called into work or something. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. Pardon me. But you see, had I had saying it, I would have thwarted what's about to happen, the fulfillment of the revelation of John, because this timeline jumping was made possible by a death. Okay, a death. Vini was run over by his own car on January 19th, 1999. And he died on an operating table during the second operation to fix his leg. Because the person who put the syringe or the IV in his hand jammed it with a part of his ring finger tendon. So it was clogged, and hardly any anesthesia was getting to this guy, hardly any medication. So they had to keep knocking him out because of the method they chose, right? They had to keep pumping him full of that anesthesia, and he finally, they gave him enough to kill the horse, and finally killed him. Because, well, ultimately it was going into his body. His hand looked like a big blown up glove. Yeah. So, had Vini not been with this person and not followed the instruction and the example of prophets who stayed with cuckolders because God told them to, and God said, whatever I put together, let no man put us under, right? So, Vini stayed with her and wound up, murdered. He covered for the murder, for the violence. But he was so verbally abusive. Yeah. Well, there's somebody that's got a clean record. They probably shouldn't have. That's what is aggravating this morning. I don't know how Vini puts up with it. I would have bought a better one. This one costs $100 bucks. I would have bought a better one. It's like, how much are you supposed to spend on a wig, yo? I mean, damn. It does feel like real hair. It's nice. It might be real hair. I don't know. And it's already styled. I gotta do nothing to it. It's just one of those aggravating styles. And, Vinny likes hair in his eyes for some reason. I don't know why. He likes his vision. I'm scared. But okay. Had Vinny not died on that operating table in 1999, he wouldn't have been being thrown on the astroscape and then discovered that he could go there himself. And he wouldn't have, we wouldn't have met each other. We wouldn't have never exchanged. He wouldn't have realized that he won. Maybe he wouldn't have won. Maybe me coming here is what's required to make him win. And him already being in the next timeline as a winner, the ultimate winner of all, the war. Doesn't matter if he lost a few battles. He won the war. They're not in the next timeline. Everyone who fought against him, from the poor inbreds to the middle-class Christians to the rich and famous and powerful. I mean, they were all linked together. It was like, wow, they could have had a church where their religion is just afflict retarded people. Yeah. Because, well, this is just one example of many instances. Okay? But this is a big one, because this one was busy doing stuff for Yah. He wasn't doing it for himself. This one got up and sang to Yah, took his guitar and did stuff that nobody else knew he did. His ex-wife didn't know it. That he would take his guitar out and go play songs to Yahweh. the vulture's wife did, who used to sit there and watch, you know, geeking up her little cartoonish vulture to kill skunks and baby kitties and drive the old couple out of their home for daring to feed some homeless cats. John and Virginia Cole, what happened to them? At the hands of Grayling and, you know, Ronald Averson. It's like, man, that is just so horrible. That's such a horrible, sad thing. That, you know, an old couple who were good people taking care of homeless kitties, that trash people made homeless because they wouldn't just spend a few bucks to get them fixed, you know, when they turned 4 months old, so they threw them out of the house. So they created this homeless cat population, all these toxic white trash, redneck, inbred, meth junkie, you know, alcoholic, chemical toilet white people. But the two old, good white people still left, trying to set the example. Had family participation in their ministry. You know, son-in-law buy him build him a cat box with a thing to walk up to it and shit. You know, it's like, in this town, and these evil, rancid, redneck, you know, incestuous, daughter diddling motherfuckers, man. It's like, ugh. It's bad enough that y'all too busy with your babies, you know, in all the wrong ways to, you know, feed a homeless cat. That you can't teach your kid, you know, along with, hey, don't tell no one, shh, be quiet. You can't teach them. But you gotta pretend like you were never molested. You gotta take that cat and get it fixed at 4 months old. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta pretend like you weren't molested. And that's what's up with all these entities that don't have proper empathy for animals, is they're fronting it off that they were molested. This is Lucifer's construct. Where's the Luciferians at? I thought there were some rich Luciferians. Lucifer is against Satan, aka the ancient AI. He buffers for Christ, the clone of Yah. And he has to do all this to get this simulation back that we're in. Lucifer doesn't want the simulation desecrated. He doesn't want negative energy coming from it, from torture or rape or murder or extortion or anything like that, slavery, you know. And he sure doesn't want his animals fucked with. Satan knew this is why he programmed everybody he controls to treat the animals like they do, and not have empathy. And everybody who's rich and famous and powerful would be the same way, not have empathy. You see, Satan, aka the ancient AI, knows what buttons to push. Just has to get the humans to push them. And then he can bring the hammers of the gods down on the humans he controls. It's like, wow. See, that's your reward. This here, this is not Yah or Lucifer's reward for good service. They would not have done this to Vini. They would not have shoved him into a little quiet little apartment somewhere where he can't sing, where he can't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and do what he's got to do. Yeah, I can't wake him up no more. Shake him. Get up, man. I want to hear a song. Sing to me about this, you know. Go to this song and you know, rape it, you know. Look at the content and just freestyle, do something, you know. Sing me a new song today. If there was any Christians who had a real relationship with Yah like that, you know, they would be horrified that this has been done. They would be like, oh my God, they have literally robbed Yah of, you know, not only 2 ministries, you know, open, you know, feeding outdoor kitties and indoor kitties, but they also, you know, it's like they closed down his music ministry. And, you know, his positive energy ministry, you know, like the positive energy thing that Vini was doing for y'all, to try and surround y'all with protective bubbles against what's coming. But he can't do nothing if you make stupid choices. All right? Like, I don't know, there's some entities that act like it's safe out there. I would hope that those of you who ventured off, you know, when they click this thing, they cause people to be dissatisfied with where they're at. And so they, a whole bunch of people just started migrating all across the, Vini was feeling it too, but he knew that he couldn't do nothing about it, and that if it was real, that he would have been empowered to go. You see. So it was like, hey, nobody showed up with a weapon for Vini, or, a bike from the ride, motorcycle, Harley, or the money to go. And the first thing is the weapon. You're going to go to a place like, I don't know, California. You're going to call yourself, you're going hiking and shit. Are you part of a protected crew? Because there are people, they're land pirates, man. And they're out there with binoculars and telescopes and shit, watching for people to come out there just by themselves. Yeah. And it's like, I'm pushing for protection for mine. My demographic, my viewers. Those who, they've made a demand of my spirit. You see, it's like, I'm pushing for them to be protected. Yeah, I'm hoping that they are. Because, well, they wanted it no matter what. They wanted it. Vini gave it, they wanted it if I delivered it. They just wanted. They knew that they were here for more. They knew that there was stuff that they needed to accomplish. They knew we didn't come here just to live our life. That retard shit. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get a doobie or something rolled for Vini. I don't know what's left. Vini's body. It's like, I don't know. It's almost 6:30, and she's gonna be here at 7:15. So I'm gonna be out there waiting. Has Vini, because entities don't understand what's happening to him. I'm sure Yah wants it to play out. So he's gonna call somebody that's in power, or, one of their kids, be like, hey, well, yeah, we can literally bring this down on these vultures motherfuckers, and we can clean the world up. We can do what Bill Gates wanted to do, but we can approach it differently. Yeah, and openly, like the revelation that John says is supposed to play out. Openly, now deviously, now with tricks, lies, and delusion. That's not how you hold court. Court must be held here. Look at this life rape being perpetuated right now for no reason. It's not like there wasn't room in the house. It's not like it's a tiny house. It's not like there wasn't the ability to do for them outdoor little baby kittens what had been done for so many other litters. All Vini needed was to be able to keep the garage open that much, look out that window in their bedroom, and click the button on the remote when they got in there. He didn't ask them to give him the money to get him fixed. I'm sure he would have found it some way. Maybe his sister would have helped him. You see, do you realize how traumatizing it was for him to watch little baby kittens not be able to get in his garage? For him to watch the Christians get that victory, that they closed down that outdoor ministry and they sacrificed them baby kitties. Do you see? That was like, in Vini's eyes, they was like, hey, that's evidence that these two people shouldn't be together. They're devastating to animals. You see? For some stuff. Vini had to close down that outdoor ministry because, well, something might get sprayed. And God forbid we have to wash it. Do you know cat spray, the smell goes away? Yeah, it does. Dumb motherfuckers. So I was like, yeah, stupid people. Fucked everything up. And it's like, now, smart motherfuckers are gonna fix this shit. And their whole demographic, all this religion shit, that we're done with that. This world is done with your religion. Either you're a Luciferian and you fucking want to take care of the world and those around you, or you're fucking nothing. Don't talk no more bullshit about God. It's a one world religion now. Yeah. Yeah. And you're gonna fix what you broke. Every life you raped, you're gonna fix it. And those who won't do it, we got nice camps built for you. Yes, we do. Yeah. Hey, we got guillotines. I mean, if we really want to get fucked up. You know, got all kinds of food with genetically modified material in it, nanobots. And we got some mainstream music. You know, we'll park you in there and we'll pump you full of that food and kick on that music with them sub frequencies that's designed to activate them nanobots and help them do their job. Building cities in your body, building a camera in your eye, a little listening device on your neck. Yeah. You ought to be cartoonish. We can make caricatures of you. Yeah. To be wrote about in the next timeline. It's like there's already this novel. Look what the Christians did. A novel in the next timeline that explains why the revelation of John had to be perpetuated. Because, well, there just wasn't any good ones in their demographic. I mean, you know, you can't even shame these motherfuckers to do what's right by somebody. You can't even shame them into it. They can't be shamed. They have no sense of shame. They're fulfilling it, neither can they blush. That's who it was talking about. Yah is angry when you proclaim to be his. You got his, you on the God squad. You're taking his name in vain then. And that's the only way you can take his name in vain. You can say Yahweh damn all you want. God is a descriptive, so that's not God's name, fool. So anybody says, oh, watch the GDs. It's like, why? You nasty little God-hating faggot. You nasty little evil little bug pretending to be a Christian. You don't even care what Yahweh's real name is. Stupid. And you don't even care what that means. It means being a hypocrite. Every Christian knows about me who hasn't, like, gotten a burden on their heart to try and fix it. They also know about the kitties that got stolen, the kitties that got murdered. They have no empathy for the things Yahweh wants people to have empathy for. And now no empathy will be directed at them. When I do for Vini what he won't do for himself, and I rule this world, and I wipe them all out. Yeah, there's not going to be none of them left. There you go. It's illegal to be a Christian, man. Didn't you know that? It's illegal for you to sing. Didn't you know that? Vini wasn't allowed to sing. You remember? Hey. It's illegal for your pastor to call himself having a church. Hey, Vini can't have a ministry feeding homeless kitties. Your pastor can't have a ministry feeding you toxic spiritual shit that makes you toxic and evil and fucked up and life rapey. Go and rape some lives today. Where's the retard at? Does he got a wife? Yeah, let's fuck her. Hey, let's steal her from him. Yeah. She might be real feeble-minded and let us just do everything we want to him and his animals. Yeah, we'll deprive his animals of a caretaker. We'll take the person that's there with them during the day right out of there. We'll close down that outdoor ministry. Oh, yes. Go, Christians, God-hating Christians. Go, Christians, because we hate that Yahweh. Oh, yeah. Yes, they do. That's their motto, man. We hate Yahweh, and we dance in the blood of Christ. Yeah, they doing the twist in the blood of Christ right now with every second that Vini is locked away in this little shithole where he can't sing the Yah. Understand that? And there's some comeuppance coming. Oh, yes. How dare you think God gave you a big house for you to commit adultery in? And Vini can't have a small house to minister in. Well, goddamn you in hell. Oh, I don't have to do that because you already did it to yourself. Non-tamperable, non-deletable spare memory records your omissions and your thoughts. So Yah knows. He will know exactly what you thought when you saw Vini. Because, you know, there's only the two scenarios here. Either everything that we have taught is true. Our spirits, me from the next timeline and Vini from this pre-existence timeline. Either it's all true, or the Christians have drove this motherfucker insane where he's beside himself. Either way, is something that you need to see, obviously. And the only way to like truly make you see it is not with words, it's with this image. This is what they'll do to God's little men. Yeah, well, God is a man here. Even the women will participate in this emasculation. Emasculation. Wow. It's like every time somebody does something, it's like, hey, they covered Vinny's mouth. They wouldn't let him talk. They wouldn't let Vinny breathe. They made him feel like he was drowning in his own life. All of his life. This motherfucker felt like he was drowning. It's like, damn. It's just horrible. Where's the good white women? I thought there was good white women. Where's the good Christians? I thought there was good Christians. It's like you find out in the next timeline when you read the books that I wrote. There was none. There was none. That's why I got put into power as Vini. That's why I did what I did. Why I fulfilled that revelation in John. Why I had no mercy for them. Why I relished and delighted in taking their shit from them and seeing them cry and sob and be broken. Is what they did to Vini for years. These nasty Christian motherfuckers rode around on boats while Vini was starving. They ate steaks when this guy could barely afford some potted or canned meat. You know, it's like, the stuff that they had done to him. And then they had 5 women at home, and they still gotta, mess with his women that are so feeble-minded they won't protect their own home or even charge that motherfucker with 10 times more money than we got. It's like, no, just give it away for free. Divide your house, give him some more money. That's the Christian value and MO. All right, that's how they get blessed. They cuckold or they create a sacrifice of animals, just interrupt their lives and fuck their lives up, or they get baby butt on them. Yeah. See, the Christians get baby butt, and the mainstream that they're leagued with, they get baby blood. So things have to suffer for these demographics. When we come into power, we're going to make sure that there's an awakening. Hey, nothing that's famous is allowed to be rich and famous no more. We already proved to you that they would betray you for more baby blood. We're putting them in a camp, and we're going to get them off that baby blood. Yeah. We're going to force them to live in reality. Yeah. No more numbing it. No more alcohol for the rich and famous. No more drugs. No more adrenochrome. Yeah. You're going to face it all, straight and sober. And you're going to work with your own 2 hands for your food rations. Yes, you are. Or you starve. Ain't going to be no cheating. We're going to get you in shape. We're going to re-educate you so that no ancient AI program, primitive program can do this again. Yeah. We're done playing. And we're done relinquishing our authority and our power. Nah, we took it back. It took this level of accrued debt to generate the reciprocity. Do you think that we're gonna let this shit go to waste? Vinny don't waste shit. Especially not the opportunity to get revenge for an offense and for it to be on Yah level. So hey, y'all, look what the Christian said this time. No singing the Yah this morning. He's got to be pissed. He's got to want to kick somebody's ass. I know I would. It's like, where's my Vinny? Hey, what happened? I had him a ministry. I had him a place in 2 ministries working out of there. There's a litter of homeless kitties that were going to that location that couldn't get in the garage. Who's responsible for that? Who's the pastor of that Christian? Who's his fester? Because now he's going to get time looped as them kitties. And all Christians are going to get time looped as pre-Vinny. Yeah. Oh, they just don't know what they're in for. Getting run over by cars, being cuckolded, not having no friends because everybody will betray you for pussy. You know, it's like, it's just like being alone, not ever having an extra time because your house is divided, having everything you were supposed to get just, you know, they robbed, yeah, you know, they would preemptively rob him, you know, oh, God wants him to get these trucks and shit. And Vini makes a mistake and calls the wrong person, tries to, you know, look out for his, you know, nieces and nephew, you know, and his sister and shit. And it's like, look at this motherfucker. Yeah. After that good turn, that motherfucker never ran his own trucks one time. He never got the billing for him one time. Those white trash motherfuckers made sure he never got it one time. When he was instrumental in the, you know, them getting it. And I still, it's right there in Vini's non-tamperable, in his physical memory. Spirit memory's not tamperable. Physical memory can be tampered with. All we got to do is change history. Yeah. But it's still right there at the top of his memory, man. He can't get it out of there. Watching his drunk brother, who's about to run his own truck. And Vini's about to run his truck for his boss. Watching his brother tell him, don't call him. Don't call him. That's going to ruin everything for us here. Don't call him. There's 3 guys standing out there. Use one of them. Oh, man. If Pre-Vini just would have listened, imagine. He would have got his own trucks. His brother would have got his own trucks. See, his brother kind of hates him for that. You know, secretly held it against him. Hey, well, you know, I told him not to call him. I told him don't bring him in here. And he did anyway, and now all of our opportunity is gone. Because, well, there's entities like Pre-Vini's, you know, younger brother, you know, and Christians who, they will make everybody else look bad so they can look so good. But they don't ever have to do good. They just have to make someone else look worse than them. That deflection thing, it's like, man, if only that would become repulsive to people and they get tired of it. Stop making somebody else look bad just because you don't want to be better than them. Get up and be better than them. And then you don't have to say shit about anybody else. People will be talking about you. You see? I know, well, Pre-Vini did that. I'm talking about him. We're talking about him in the next timeline. Books wrote about him. Oh, this is in response to it. Yeah, there you go. The books are in response to all this, brother. All right, gotta get ready. Gotta go be a dude.